Hey everyone, so we have got a lot of new Maui Jim releases to go over. I'm going to try to get through them all, but I'm going to get what I can. For starters, we're going to go with the new guy that is technically replacing this. I'll get into why that may or may not be a good thing later in the video. For now, what we're going to dive into is the brand new Laulima frame. Replacing an icon or not? We'll see. So right off the jump, this is definitely a huge step forward versus the Ho'okipa, which is kind of the Maui Jim. Pretty much everyone, I think, if you know the brand, you either know this frame, have seen it, or own it and have worn it yourself. This is the kind of jump forward from that frame. The idea is to replace a frame that has been in the collection for a very long time, but it is an iconic style in the Maui Jim series. What I think they've done right here is there are a lot of details on this frame that were very much absent in the old frame, which might be a bad thing because that was a super classic, clean look, no sort of disturbances or weird stuff going on. This one is a much more fashion-focused frame, which is kind of the direction Maui Jim is heading with a lot of their new frame releases. This guy here, you have some very nice detail, and one thing that has caught my eye in a lot of their advertising is the way they've bezeled this and this to give it just a little bit more edge. It doesn't show up on this camera very well, but in particular, you can see you've got that extra bezeling on those outer corners. It is in the middle as well. I just can't get the light to properly hit that bezel. You'll see, you compare it here, it's just much softer overall on the Ho'okipa. They've kind of hardened those lines, gave it a little bit more of a sharp bevel, just to catch the light a little bit differently and make it a little more interesting. The overall feel on these is actually similar to the Ho'okipa, so that part is good. And again, it's a little bit more fashion forward. I love it in that aspect. It's a really cool look. I definitely love this sharp angular line that they moved to. The problem is, if this is a replacement for the iconic Ho'okipa, is we're on a 4-base frame here, which amounts to there is a ton of space for light to sneak in and creep in, which is not really what you would have used these guys for on that 8-base, because the whole point here was complete coverage. Now this one hits the brows a little bit more, but that's to give you that full sill all the way around. The overall size and fit between the two, as I mentioned, is pretty close. But because of that difference in base curve, it is a huge difference in how they actually function for you. Now, personally, I like this a lot better. I don't think that's going to be the case for everyone. No question. I think if you have this one in your collection, you've already got that wrap covered. That's fine. If you want a more fashionable version that is a very similar look, this one's definitely going to do that job, as it is a huge leap forward in just kind of that fashion look, in my opinion. But with a rimless frame, the problem is, again, with that smaller base, you have a lot more places for lights to melt and cause reflections and glare and all the things you're generally trying to get rid of with sunglasses. It's a double-edged sword. One thing that Maui did with these, it is still the Lliema material, so the durability there is going to be incredible. The lenses are, of course, the Maui Pure. If you've been here long, you know I have very mixed feelings on the Maui Pure lens because the mirror coatings don't hold up and they just don't last over time. Of course, the lenses can be replaced, but this guy was also all Maui Pure lenses, so it's very hard to fault them on this. There is a price jump for the new one. These guys were $219. This one is now $249. Not an insignificant amount, not a huge amount, but it is something to note. And while we're on notes, the lids material I mentioned, the Maui Pure, is going to be your stock options. So those are the ones you can just order. They're ready to go. You don't have any extra waiting period. Then you've got people like me that don't care for that. So all of the ones I have on hand are the Maui Brilliant lenses. Much better lens material, slightly heavier, doesn't really affect the overall feel and balance. It just isn't the insanely light thing that you get with the Maui Pure. I'll take the extra durability and the better optics all day long. That's what we're known for here, so that's what I'm going to stock here as well. Colorways, we have the nice transparent tortoise with the Maui HT lens here to give it a little bit of that green, just kind of a nice pop, kind of that classic signature look. Obviously, I started off with the transparent gray with the neutral gray lenses, Just that cool, stark contrast. Always good stuff. And last but not least, the new red Havana colorway with no other than the Maui Rose. Again, all three of these are with the Maui Brilliant lens. Something to keep in mind because, I'm always going to recommend getting the Maui Brilliant lens. The problem with that is on the Maui Jim website, it does not tell you which material you're getting if you order a Maui. And it's kind of a toss-up because a lot of times they're available in several different lens material and finish options. Now we can get them on access in either Maui Pure, Maui Brilliant, Maui Evolution, depending on the frame choice. Evo is not available in these. And you can choose single or double gradient mirror options on your kind of core frames. Obviously, the solid mirrors, can't do anything with those. But I just think it's an interesting choice on the Maui Jim website to get rid of that while they're adding new options on the dealer side of things. Sorry, not sorry, I actually kind of like that. It gives me more room to play and fine-tune exactly what we have in the shop. I like having different stuff than anyone else anyways. So I like to say we eliminate the challenge of figuring out which lens you're getting. So, something to keep in mind, reach out to me. We can help you with that if you're getting a pair of these that want to step up what you're actually getting. Outside of that, let me know your thoughts on the new Laulima frame from Maui Jim. Is it going to dethrone the Icon? Probably not. What I have suggested, and what I hope they actually follow through and do, is creating a new sport version of Laulima that will be on a 6 or an 8 base. Whether they actually do that or not, probably not, because I'm so far down on the food chain, I don't even think they know who I am. That it's a weird feeling, okay? I'm used to talking to the designers directly. Different ballgame. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on this, and yeah, we'll have some fun with it. I think it's one worth picking up, but I'm not everyone. Catch you guys next time.